Hi, Olli Gröhn. You are a professor of biomedical MRI and the leader of the Biomedical MRI research group at the University of Eastern Finland. Could you briefly introduce your research group and some of its key focus areas?
So my research group currently is focused on development of the functional imaging, new ways of doing functional imaging in brain. And our research group consists of about 10 people. They come with a very different backgrounds. Some have a degree in biology, some in pharmacy, some in physics, biomedical engineering, mathematics. So we are a very diverse group of people, and that's what is needed to do this kind of research.
And what are actually some of the key research questions or issues that your group is tackling?
Yeah, fMRI, functional MRI, is a great technique. It can measure brain activity in entire brain, but the current methods are very sensitive to many external factors. So they are kind of noisy, difficult to use. Not only signal to noise is low, but they are also noisy loud. So it's very uncomfortable environment to be in this kind of experiments. So what our group is trying to do is to develop new type of fMRI pulse sequences that would actually circumvent many of these issues. So the current method is kind of called mode fMRI, and what we are doing is called a zero echo time fMRI. So it's a completely different way of doing fMRI, and it's quiet. It's very kind of tolerant for many things like movement or magnetic field inhomogeneity, which are heavily affecting the current way of doing fMRI. So we are kind of in a methodological development, but we closely interact with people doing neuroscience, and we hope that our methodology will open up new research areas, new ways of kind of doing fMRI.
Wonderful. And you already mentioned some collaborations, and I wanted to ask you what kind of collaborations you have within the university and maybe beyond it.
Yeah, as I said, we are method-oriented people, but our applications are in neuroscience. So we want to work with strong neuroscientists so that together we can really do something significant. And currently at our university or even our institute, the closest collaborator is the Professor Heikki Tanila. Heikki Tanila is focused on memory, Alzheimer's disease. He is strong in electrophysiological techniques. So together we have tackled, for example, memory consolidation in sleep. Our technique is quiet, so you can actually make animals, for example, sleep in the magnet. So we are able to look how this memory consolidation happens and how it might be different in Alzheimer's disease, for example. So this is the kind of where I think we are the strongest, when we can combine our novel methodological development with people who have very relevant neuroscience questions. So that is in the current, in the international level. Our closest collaborator is the University of Minnesota. The Center for Magnetic Resonance Research there is one of the leading centers in high field MRI, and this methodological development is going together with them. Then we are part of the larger international network, for example, Yale, where we kind of apply these techniques to address neurometabolic coupling, for example, and things like that.
Wow, amazing. And what are some of the achievements of your research group that you are most proud of?
I think we are kind of proud that for this development, we have been able to acquire quite substantial funding from NIH, for example. So NIH is not easily giving funding outside the USA. So it kind of means that what we are doing is something unique. And I'm proud that now when I, for example, look the next our ISMRM meeting, which is our major international meeting, I see that many groups, many very well-known fMRI groups starts to follow us. So they are starting to implement the technique that we have been developing together with University of Minnesota. So I saw more than 10 abstracts now coming out, implementing similar methodology that we have been kind of leading. So I was quite proud when I saw that, like just last week.
Wow, amazing. And if you look beyond into the future, what kind of impact do you wish your group's research would have in the next, let's say, 5 to 10 years?
I think we are method people, so we love methods, but I think the real impact will come through the neuroscience applications. So for example, the current work with Heikki Tanila and Miriam Nokia from Jyväskylä, looking memory consolidation is one example. I mean, sleep is a big thing in neuroscience. It is when the memory consolidation happens, that's where the many of the early symptoms of the neurodegenerative diseases happen. So if we can address those questions alone, it's a huge thing with our methodology. Then our technique opens up really new areas of research, because earlier fMRI could only be done in one target at the time because it needs very homogeneous magnetic field. So we have, for example, one project where we are measuring simultaneously fMRI from the brain and the spinal cord. So kind of two different targets within the magnet. And it's not possible with the current methodology. It's only possible with our new methodology. So we are kind of looking in forward, combining the brain activity with rest of the body almost, like spinal cord, heart, kind of developing this brain body axis imaging. So that's one of the things that the new methodology might open up. So there are lots of things. When you do something differently, there are new things opening up. And I think next 10, 20, I don't know, 50 years probably shows what are those new areas and which of them will really be impactful.
Yeah, sounds like you have a lot of potential for impact indeed. Then the most important question, why should researchers choose your research group for their postdoc? What makes your group a great group?
I hope it kind of came out already, that it's a kind of an innovation environment. So we try to think outside the box. So we try to create the environment where you can come up with your own new ideas. And we understand that 90% of the new ideas are just crap. And it's fine. That's the kind of environment we try to create, that you can come up with your ideas, you can feel comfortable, you can do your thing, you are part of the bigger group with different skills. And through that, doing something uniquely novel. I mean, novel was the name of the program, I guess. So that's what we try to do. So we are doing something that is in the front. I mean, it's the cutting edge, very new thing. We have instruments that are used as a European level infrastructure. We have a nice diverse group of people, not only my group of 10 people, but a larger community of about 50 people working around the imaging concepts. And then we have an international network. So many people who had worked with us have ended up places like Harvard, NIH, Yale. So it's also could be a kind of stepping stone after doing some meaningful work for here for some other places. So lots of reasons.
Well,
And we mostly had fun. So
that's always good.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing. Thank you so much, Olli Gröhn.
Thank you.